Collapsing fisheries around the world, a growing human population, disrupted logistics worldwide, scarcity of resources. What does all this add up to? Obviously, a fish farm in Mexico. My name is George Schmidt, and 5 years ago, I raised over $22 million to start an offshore farm in La Paz, Baja California Sur. And we're now starting a new project on the other side of Mexico for a farm on land in Yucatan of what will surely be the salmon of the tropics.
Large restaurants and hotels, especially large restaurant and hotel chains, have a difficult time developing excellent whitefish menu items that are consistent across culinary and budget dimensions. This is because wild-caught fish are seasonal, are subject to illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, offer inconsistent sizes and flavor, may harbor parasites, and are of questionable freshness. Wild-caught fish are also rarely certified and are unavailable on demand. Additionally, providers cannot credibly enter into long-term supply agreements but sell at only spot prices. Industrial companies like pet food, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics companies have a permanent need for a consistent supply of consistent raw ingredients. Our solution is to provide customers with quality, reliable white fish through our recirculating aquaculture system farm. Our initial customers are restaurant and hotel chains in the Riviera Maya in the Yucatan Peninsula, and secondarily, the rest of Mexico. Fish on Land farms will allow executive chefs to focus on developing excellent items for their menus, not on adjusting to constantly changing supply, as well as allow business managers to reliably and credibly plan sourcing costs while switching to a sustainable and certified product. Secondary customers are pet food, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics companies. Fish on Land farms will allow sourcing managers to add a reliable and consistent source of high-quality ingredients that can credibly enter into long-term supply agreements.
85% of total revenue is from fresh fish. Most will be on 12-month contracts. We can factor in invoices that are not paid upon delivery to generate immediate cash. Revenue is recognized by months, and the rest is booked as deferred revenue. 50% gross margin and 95% plus net revenue retention. 50% of total revenue is from byproducts. 97% gross margin at a weighted average price. That is 50% of whole fresh fish. We estimate our total addressable market in Mexico range from $109 million to $684 million per year as follows. Our estimated low range of potential customers was based on 30 million yearly tourists staying an average of 4 nights in the Riviera Maya and eating 3 meals per day. The high range includes the rest of the Mexican market outside of the Yucatan Peninsula. The average revenue per ultimate customer is the sale of a single fish per trip for tourists or per week for Mexican residents.
The barriers to entry for our competitors include the unavailability of brood stock and fertilized eggs in commercial quantities in the open market. It requires years of preparatory work. There's very limited scientific and technological knowledge in raising the species' hatchery environment, making it very difficult to successfully raise in commercially reasonable numbers. Strong and exclusive support from the state government of the Yucatan and local universities, proximity to markets and low relative cost logistics, geological uniqueness of the RAS farm site reduces long-term operational costs by providing filtered saltwater more than 6 miles offshore at very shallow well depths. Mexican buyers and consumers have a high preference for Mexican products. Initial customers will be mid to high-level hotel chains in the top row, mid to high-level seafood chains in the middle row, and the largest producer of pet and animal feeds in Latin America, seen on the bottom. We have existing relations and contacts with all of them from the previous Capachi project. There's very strong demand for the project, and the sales team mainly handles scheduling of orders, promotional events, payments, and complaints. The primary competitors are marine finfish from local extractive fisheries in the Gulf of Mexico, mainly grouper, snapper, and amberjack. Extractive fishermen compete along a single dimension: low spot price, quality is relatively low, productivity seasonal, and volume and sizes are inconsistent. Moreover, the heavy extraction of oil and gas from the platforms in the Gulf of Mexico have severely damaged the local fisheries and continue to reduce their productivity, in addition to polluting the waters with hydrocarbons and other chemicals that can affect locally caught fish. In short, they are local but of low quality. Secondary competitors are farmed fish from Mexico's Pacific coast from hybrid striped sea bass, snapper, totoba, and capachi. They have good quality and offer some of the same advantages as our fish, but are a continent, minimum 2 flights away, while our farm reaches the market within a 5-hour drive. Finally, Regal Springs is a great producer of tilapia and is included here to complete the competitive landscape, but their fish is not a high-end fish.
It is a pleasure for me to introduce you to our team. We have myself, the Chief Data Officer, Kumiko, Chief Scientific Officer, Kevin, the CFO, Chelsea, the COO, and last but not least, Jorge, our CEO and founder. Jorge founded and led the Capachi Company, a pioneer in the species which reached market in record time. He raised $22 million in outside capital and grew revenue from 0 to 4.5 million and steered the company through the disastrous commercial environment caused by COVID-19 pandemic by opening new markets and selling new products. The company is poised to be the largest producer of the species in the world. Institutional investors are expected to exit in 4 years. Now, looking into our financial summary, sales booking shows that we are projected to produce $315,000 during each quarter, with a gross margin of almost 50%. The numbers were developed using historical production growth rates and the current market prices. Operational and production costs were developed using current process for Fed and industry standard metrics for input.
Our milestones of the next 2 years are to complete the initial design in the next couple of months, to close the funding round, by early next year, complete the build out of the proof of concept facility and seed our first cohort, by late next year to begin commercial harvest and seed the second cohort, and by the end of 2024, having proven out that we can raise this fish on land and sell it, complete the Series A. This initial seed round of $2 million in matching funds for a Yucatan government grant includes $1 million for capital expenditures in the design and build out of the facility, $250,000 in working capital, most of it in feed, $600,000 in labor, and $150,000 for opportunity and unexpected expenses. As you can see, we're really excited about this project. We're raising $2 million in an initial seed round. $1.5 million are still available. We're looking to close in the next 3 months. Please feel free to call or email. We really look forward to talking to you and to help make a difference in the world.